Langiri palawani, langiri asagom, nagwam kamalagoga, tadalo primos tipida, langiri pinaitana, langiri pinatana, zaman tersahu mahami, langirai sadikon.
Oh, man. Hey, good morning. The original Tomorrow rock star, JD Crutch. 8:25, Thursday, March 3rd, 3322. Does that mean something?
No, it doesn't.
No,
But I heard you were lonely, so I came up here.
I didn't say I was lonely. I just asked if Bree missed coming on the show.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I too, Chris, am here for you.
Thanks, guys, for being. That's what it's all about. Asking me how my mental health is doing while you're at it.
Maybe
Don't
don't ask him.
It's 8:26, Thursday, March 3rd. Before we get to our NMI report with Tomas Manglona, I kind of wanted to go over some of the comments. We did get some comments in here. Hold on a second, sir. Good morning. By the way, the show is brought to you by Cabo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. So we had the speaker on in response to the interview from Dr. Nathaniel Berg. Actually, I'm having some issues with my computer, so we'll go ahead and get to our CNMI correspondent, Tomas Manglona, who's all the way right there with the very latest from the CNMI, covering regional issues for the KUAM News team. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Chris. Yes, today, in just about over an hour, the CNMI Senate will be convening for a regular session. Everyone's eyes are set on whether or not they'll be addressing the elephant in the room, which is the impeachment process, those trial rules. And I guess we'll get to see Senator Victor Holkug and Senator Paul Manglona in the same room once again and see what happens today. It's a regular session. It's unclear if they're going to address the impeachment rules. You can't imagine that they won't. And so that's what people are looking forward to in the NMI this morning.
Wow. So do you think, Tomas, if you don't mind me asking, do you think that the Republicans in the Senate, do you think there was a big powwow where maybe somebody's ears got tea-licked, or they were like, hey, when we come back and we present ourselves to the public, it's got to be a total 180 from what we showed the people of the CNMI a couple days ago?
I think that's going to be the case. The Senate president definitely apologized after the incident, after the altercation, and we're going to see today what work they get done, because they didn't get past public comments the first time around. And so we'll be sharing the live stream link on our social media pages and see what the Senate gets to today in the CNMI.
All right.
Yes, and also someone who's weighing in is not just the senators, but also House lawmakers, specifically the Speaker of the House, Edmund Villagomez, in the CNMI. We got a chance to get his take on everything that has transpired. And Chris, it's also interesting because if he's first in line to be the House prosecutor in the impeachment trial.
Oh, wow.
And so we asked him head on if he's going to be the prosecutor in Governor Torres' trial. And here's that interview to find out what he said.
Sure.
All right, Speaker, thanks for your time. I guess we'll go ahead and start with your response to yesterday's chaos in the Senate. What's your comment on what transpired yesterday?
Well, my comment is there are a lot of things, as the Speaker of the House, usually when someone wants to speak, right, they need to raise their hand and they need to be recognized. So just a lot of things. Senator Paul, I guess, wanted to be heard right away, and they were under public comment. So I think he felt that if that's the only way he could be heard, I guess he wanted to take off his hat as a senator and put on his hat as a citizen and give public comments. But I also think he maybe would have had the opportunity to be heard had the agenda moved on. Public comments is usually reserved for people from the public coming in to to share their thoughts, share their comments, share their suggestions or recommendations for whatever is on the agenda. What triggered Senator Victor Hawkcook is beyond me, but it also seemed like the Senate president was kind of taming the situation before the thing with Senator Hawkcook. Maybe he had, I don't know if there's personal heat between the two, but to me it looked like Senator Paul was hot about wanting to speak, but then it also, he looked like he was kind of conceding to, returning to his seat. And when the opportunity comes for him to speak, that's all he asked, that he would speak freely for, the public.
And let's talk about those public comments, because of the 4 public comments, 3 of them were from sitting members of the House. Some of them were members of the investigation, the committee that looked into Governor Ralph Torres's expenditures. We received your press release a few days ago. It's no secret that you're troubled by the Senate impeachment rules. I wanted to just ask you for your response to those who say the House should keep their hands off the Senate's process, given that the Senate wasn't showing up to the House, giving public comments about the way the House was conducting their business. So can you just respond to that about the checks and balances aspect of this, and whether or not you think the House is overreaching?
Well, at the end of the day, the Senate president is right. They are the authority to, they have the authority to draft or put together their rules for the, the governor's trial in the Senate. I just felt that, that I should, I should say something regarding, just my opinion on the rules. And that's all it is, really. Just asking, for a little fairness or and whatnot. It just seems like they're tying my hands. At the very least, loosen up my hands a little bit. To at least have I guess, more of a fair process. But at the end of the day, it's the Senate's call on how to carry out the process on their end. And they're right. They never did interfere during the JGO. They did not interfere during our session, and they did not interfere during the special committee meetings. And they didn't really give much of a opinion in terms of the process. But then each house has a different process. In their rules, they state that I started an inquiry on impeachment, which I did not. The process here in the House is any communication that comes through the Speaker's office, I refer it to the proper committee. And yes, they did ask to refer the communications referring to the investigations from the last term to be referred to JGO for them to look into, which I did grant. But we don't know where that process could have gone. The governor could have been cleared, or the governor could have been found on the wrong side. But it was the end result was not so much referring that communication was not about like, look into it so we can impeach the guy. No. And then they talk about like, I created the impeachment committee. Of course I did. Anybody can introduce the resolution to impeach a sitting, governor, lieutenant governor, and whatnot. It doesn't have to go through an investigation process. Somebody could just introduce it, and then it's just only right to create a special committee. So it's just a different process on both houses, right? The Senate is more of like a trial, and it's like I said, I'm just out there, just giving my short opinion on the rules, and just asking for a little more breathing room, a little more fairness, I guess. But I'm not arguing the fact that at the end of the day, it's the Senate's call on how they're going to carry out the process on their end.
And of course, the Senate did not take action yesterday after the outbursts. But if the Senate rules do pass as is, will you be accepting or denying your role as the House impeachment prosecutor?
Well, that's again, that's something I'm going to have to, really sit down and really contemplate. We'll see how long of a deadline do I have to respond to participate in the process or not. We got to take into account that we have members of the JGO committee that really did the work on this. And I just really got to sit down and meet and with the leadership and the of course our staff at the LB to come up with a decision. Because if I'm not mistaken, the rules starts off with me, and if I can't do it, then it's the vice speaker who was chairing the committee on the special committee on impeachment, and then if he can't do it, then the Senate president gets to pick who in the House will be the sole prosecutor. So I would like to table my comment for now regarding my participation in the process should the rules be adopted as is.
All right, Speaker, that's all the questions I had. Did you want to add anything just about this process now that it's in the hands of the Senate and they might revisit it on their session this Thursday, I believe?
No addition. Again, like I said, I was just out there putting it out to the public, my opinion on the rules that were supposed to be acted on yesterday, and that's it. Not so much trying to interfere with the Senate's process. So that's it, pretty much.
And there you have it. CNMI Speaker Edmund Villagomez coming from the left corner with some of his with fellow lawmakers calling for more loose rules when it comes to the impeachment trial. So we're going to see. As he said, everything's still on the table. He did not deny that he's not considering being the sole House prosecutor, which would be interesting because he wasn't really as involved in the, investigative inquiries. Yeah. He signed off on them. Which
outside looking in, the faces that I really remember is Representative Bauta, right. Representative Sablon, and then Representative
B.J. Attal, who initially formed the committee in the previous legislature.
So he definitely did seem a little more moderate in terms of how he even had the discussion on the issue.
Right. Could you imagine if senators went to the House committee to give public comments?
Yeah.
Because that would be the case if it were reversed.
Yeah, and that's the point I brought up yesterday was maybe there might have been some frustration on the part of the independent senator from Luta, Senator
Paul Manglona.
Paul Lacus-Howe Manglona.
But he's aligned with the Democrats. He caucuses with them.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Senator DeLeon Guerrero.
Maybe there was some frustration that, it's public comment? Well, let me be a public now since there's no public here.
Right.
So that's what I was kind of wondering was were they disappointed maybe that there wasn't a showing of kind of like regular non-political people or even unelected
speaking
people?
with some sources in the past few days in the aftermath of the near Senate brawl, near fist fight really, is they're telling me that the amendments could have been discussed and made through the process, but tempers flared and people's eyes were blurred with passion. So that's what we got. And so today there are again public comments, and we'll see what public comments.
Yeah, what are the public comments you're getting just about the whole near Senate fist fight?
Right, and so what some people tell me is, number one, some people are applauding Senator Paul Manglona's show of support for a more open public process. Others saying they can do without the theatrics, and that this is the process which the rules will go through, and they would rather not see people.
The comments I got just from like my NMI friends, and I don't know where they are, like if they're Team Ralph or whatever, or not Team Ralph, but embarrassing. That was the word that I kept getting.
Right.
So there.
This is definitely going to be a day in history that people are not going to forget, and continue to see how the Senate conducts itself in the view of the public. But why don't you shift gears, Chris? Because while there's a fight in the Senate, there's also still a fight for COVID-19. We do have the latest outside of the CNMI. Wanted to provide the latest data. The CNMI has reported 6 individuals hospitalized due to COVID-19, 1 unvaccinated, 4 vaccinated, and 1 partially vaccinated. 1 patient is on a ventilator. The island also reporting 132 new COVID cases, bringing the CNMI total to 9,856. Of those cases, 14 on Tinian, 10 on Rhoda. And Chris, some major news yesterday from CNMI Public Health. Not just your first dose, not just your second dose, not just your third dose,
but your
4th COVID vaccine dose, your second booster. If you're on the CNMI, you can now get that. Here's that report from yesterday's newscast with Dr. Lily Muldoon, who's the director of medical director of public health in Saipan.
The CNMI adds another dose to its COVID-19 arsenal. Eligible residents can get a 4th shot.
This has been approved by the CDC for people who are moderately or severely immunocompromised. This includes people who are on cancer treatment, are organ transplant recipients, are HIV, or are on immunosuppressive drugs.
It comes as nearly 30% of tests conducted come up as positive. Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda combined reporting triple-digit daily cases and single-digit hospitalizations. But health officials say those rates are starting to drop. They see the region mimicking trends across the country. She says they have hundreds of Pfizer and Moderna shots in stock.
So their 4th dose can happen 3 months after the 3rd dose, and it should be one of the mRNA vaccines.
Those wanting the 4th jab should discuss it with their provider. She says sooner is better, and it could be the case that anyone can get the 4th dose soon too.
Similar to the way the booster was rolled out, that they first saved it for the highest risk individuals, and then quickly over time, other people were eligible.
Tomas Manglona for KOAM News.
So again, that story is posted to across all of our platforms, and if you're in the CNMI and fall under the current eligible category of being immune compromised, and you're 3 months away from your first booster, Chris, you can get your 4th shot. And we asked her as we wrapped that story whether or not she thinks this is going to be something that most people can get later on in life if they want. If they're not immune compromised. And she told us, yes, it is likely going to be treated like the first booster, where they gave it first to frontliners and those immune compromised, and then open it up to basically everyone else. Because I did ask her, I said, there are some people who might say, okay, I'm healthy, I've got my booster, but I want to be extra safe, so let me get my 4th booster.
It would be extra,
my fourth shot rather, and second booster.
Safe.
So major news, and we asked them about the supply. They said they have hundreds in stock. They don't see it as an issue. More than half of the CNMI population is already boosted, nearing 60% for the first shot. Yeah. And so the data is only going to grow, and continue to keep track of it, because while trends track downward nationwide, people are still being cautious. As it was said yesterday in the State of the Union, there's going to probably be another variant that will hopefully not catch us by surprise, but that we'll be ready for.
Tomas, one of the things I really loved about this CNMI near fist fight, the fisticuffs, the memes. There were definitely some memes, or memes as it's pronounced, Mr. Moore. This one, I don't know if you saw this one. Joe, can you pop that one up here?
Oh, gosh, you have it?
This one was wild.
Oh, boy.
Meme level 3000 here. And we're talking about the fight of the night meme. Did you get that one, Tomas?
Unfortunately, I've probably received them all. And you know, I mean, people are responding that way,
Yeah,
and making, showing what many have told me, well, was not acceptable.
Yeah,
so.
and I think with the Senate president and his comments afterwards, he talked about decorum.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's there you go. The memes, you guys mess up, the meme police are ready to call you out there. Wow, so that's what Senator Lakis looks like without his shirt. Okay. Thank you, Tomas. Appreciate it. Tomas Manglona
Great.
covering our CNMI region. It is what it is, man.
Oh man, just what a time! What a time!
What a time to be alive.
What a
my
time
friend.
it is! It is what it is.
I gotta get that on a shirt. What a time it is! It is what it is. Hashtag.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Let's hope though that we get some discussion today because
You know what?
nothing happened. Nothing
Yeah.
happened after that. So
Right.
what?
But
what
do
will
you think
happen?
there's going to be a show of collegiality? Maybe like a handshake to start the
I
things.
mean,
off
I don't know if you can expect a bouquet of flowers to be on the Senate,
Yeah.
Desk, but I mean,
Maybe Senator
we want to
Paul-
hear what they're going to
Yeah.
have to say. What are they going to move substantively on?
Yeah.
What are they going to get down the agenda? And so we're going to see that it's happening just at 10 o'clock, and you can go over to KOM Facebook to watch that.
Thank you, Tomas.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
Tomas
Thanks,
Manglona,
Chris.
our regional correspondent, covering all things CNMI, doing some great regional coverage in the CNMI. And before we had Tomas covering regional news for us, we kind of just had to eavesdrop a little bit on what other media were doing in the CNMI. And I got to say, like, my understanding of the issues and like the politicians and everything that's at play in the CNMI, Tomas, because I wasn't very confident talking about it. Maybe before you joined the team and really ramped up our coverage, but now I really feel like through your reporting, I have a pretty decent understanding of what's going on. So thank you for that.
Yeah. No problem. It's my job.
It is.
But
It's my
and
job.
I know that COVID and this impeachment trial has been some of the major headlines. But
Yeah.
we've also brought lots of great stories about just people, on the ground, throughout all three islands and all the other major developments on
Yeah.
there. So,
Yep.
more to come.
There you go. Thank you. It's 8:47. Yeah, let's go ahead and go over some of our comments here, as we did have a very eventful program for you this morning. I guess we'll just start